Of Bakhmut to bring you details of that as well. We have details of these stories and a lot more coming to you in the next 60 minutes if you stay with us. We'll also be taking you to Adregano, where the one-week observation of former Black Stars winger Christian Atsuo is currently ongoing. We'll bring you some sights and sounds also from Adregano here in Accra. Let's settle for the details of the story, starting with this. It is an affliction many men suffer in silence, and we could be heading towards possible infertility. Research shows that male sperm count has plummeted by some 50% since the 1970s. But why? Emmanuel Samani has more in this report.
Males across the globe are facing a worrying health threat: declining sperm counts. A study published in the Human Reproductive Update journal showed that global sperm count has dropped by more than 50% in the last 40 years, and there is no sign of it improving.
Now, the study analyzed data from 185 studies published between 1973 and 2021. Now, they looked at sperm concentration in the total sperm count, which summarizes the number of sperm cells in a man's ejaculate. Now, the review of the data showed that sperm counts in men from North America, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand declined by some 52.4%, whilst between the years of 1973 and 2011. Now, the current meta-analysis reports that an overall 73% decline in sperm concentration, particularly sperm count in African men, over the past 50 years.
But what is accounting for the decline?
Fertilities have declined all over the world. And the biggest decline is in the African region, where we used to have 10 children. But now that has come down.
Professor Fred Benka is an epidemiologist with the University of Health and Allied Science.
In fact, some of the studies that have been done here, even in Ghana, give a higher percentage, about 57% of the men who go to the infertility clinics, who agree to accompany their wives to be investigated, are found to be having low sperm counts. Then we have the environmental issues. Today we have the use of lots of chemicals. And then finally, the social and demographic factors. So these are broad things that have changed over time, and we can document from many publications that sperm counts have gone really down. In fact, the figures are, they were about 103 or to 110, thereabouts, million sperms per male, and this has gone down in some of the published work to about some places up to about 60. Huge, halved the level of low sperm counts.
40-year-old George, not his real name, knows all too well about having low sperm count.
I didn't believe it in the first place. So fine, the result came in, they said the problem was from me. But still, I had doubt. I wanted to try another facility. So I had to try another facility again. And the result that came out, so it really, really got to me. Charlie, I was like, hey, then what will I do? Because we've not had any plans of maybe adopting or, yeah. So it's like, I was really, 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 really down. Yeah, I was really, really, really down. I didn't know how to break the news to my parents and stuff. My mom especially. Hey, George, that went out with me, Nana, we're brave.
But is all hope lost for men who suffer from low sperm count?
We do think that it has to do to a large extent with changing lifestyle. So the men undergo a lot of stressful lifestyle now. Our diet, you see, in the past it used to be a lot of organic, now we're eating a lot more of processed food, and that has translated to a lot more of chronic medical problems, diabetes, hypertension, the increase in smoking, and then alcohol consumption.
Dr. Promise Afoga is a lead obstetrician gynecologist at Shade Healthcare.
If it's just a slight reduction in the number of sperm cells, we use medications to boost it. If it's just a slight decline in the percentage of those that are making a forward linear progressive swimming movement, we use some medications to improve that. In those that are moderate, it's not so bad, then we have a place for what we call intrauterine insemination, where we take the sperm, process it, concentrate it, and then when the eggs are ready, we inject the sperm right inside here. So you can see we have reduced the distance the sperm would have to struggle to travel. We bring it all the way here, and it just makes a little shorter journey to meet up with the egg here. In those cases where the sperm count is extremely low, or it is moderately low, but the other interventions have not worked, then that is when we consider the use of assisted reproductive technology. And in this case, if it's a male factor, then we consider the ICSI, which is referred to as the intracytoplasmic sperm injection. But in the case where the sperm count is extremely low, we call severe oligospermia, in that case, we have to go the extra step of physically injecting the sperm into the egg in order for it to be able to fertilize.
We might be heading towards a male fertility crisis, but with advancements in science and technology, that may be the only solution to this alarming situation.
Through that course, like, my wife was able to get pregnant. I have 2 lovely kids, twins actually, Low sperm count doesn't make you less of a man. It doesn't make you less of a man at all. So anyone, I would advise any man actually who has low sperm count not to be alarmed.
While we have to make the right lifestyle changes, it is also important to be aware of new technologies such as ICSI that can help us improve the situation. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
To some rather sad development, the one-week observation for late former Black Stars player Christian Atsu is underway here in Accra at Adrigano. Christian Atsu, who is 31 years old, he died in a devastating 7.8 magnitude earthquake that hit parts of Turkey and Syria on February 6, 2023. Now, family of the deceased, loved ones, members of the football fraternity and the general public have all gathered at the Adrigano premise, the AstroTurf, where the observation is being held.
Particularly behind me, as you can see on that high table there. Now, the file that is moving behind me at the moment is the family of Christian Atsu, and they're heading all the way to that high table just to welcome the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana. The Professional Footballers Association of Ghana are the old footballers who have played for Ghana's national teams in different capacities. So many of them have made their way here, led by their General Secretary, Anthony Bafo. And there's also former captain of the Black Stars, Stephen Appiah. There's former captain of the Black Stars, John Mensah. There's also Sule Muntari. There's former captain of the Black Stars as well, Asamoah Gyan. And there's Yao Champong, there's Yao Prekon. There are many, many footballers who have made their way. Also, Samuel Osei-Kuffour is also here, as well as Richard Kingston, who was former goalkeeper for the Black Stars as well. And they have all made their way there. So the family is heading there just to, in a file, just to welcome them to the grounds where the one-week celebration of Christian Atsu's life is happening. Now, just to update you, though, is that March 17th is when the funeral of Christian Atsu is happening at the forecourt of the State House. The sports minister, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, as well as the former trade minister, Alan Tremanting, have all left the premises. They were here earlier this morning just to pay their respects to the family, but they have left. Also, former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantakyi, as well as current president of the GFA, that's Ketu Kreku and his entourage, and also former coach of the Black Stars as well, Kwesi Appiah, have all come through and have left just to pay their respects to the family. So it's a huge ceremony that's happening here. The family of Christian Atsu are done with the welcoming of the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana, and so they are making their way back to their seats, and you can see them as well in a file there. These are the relatives of the fallen footballer Christian Atsu, and they are making their way to their seats just to sit down and continue with the proceedings that's happening here at the moment. And so it's a huge occasion here, and we're paying respects to Christian Atsu, the life, that he lived as a footballer, the life that he lived as a philanthropist. He helped so many people, played 65 times for the Black Stars and scored a total of 9 goals. Some fantastic goals are in his repertoire as well, and he's a huge figure in Ghana football that has fallen. And so many people are here to pay their respects, a lot of them particularly sad for the events that has happened. Oreku, Oreku Ampofo is also here as well. Oreku, just join me. And we are, as you can see, I mean, the footballers that have made their way here, just tell us, you know, the support that Christian Atsu has gotten today.
Well, I think it's been incredible to see footballers like Sammy Kufuor dating all the way back from 2000, and you know, even players who played before 2000 coming in through different generations to come and still support Atsu. It just tells you of the type of player and the relationship that he had with these most guys, that it transcended the generation that he even played with. Because remember, Atsu didn't play at the Black Stars for a very long time. He came in around 2011, 2012, and then made his name 2013, enjoyed the 2015, and then after 2017, 2018, 2019, he started fading out and all that. And so up top, maybe he enjoyed about some 6-7 years of national team football, but you're seeing guys over here who span across 20 years, and so it just tells you of how great a footballer Christian Atsu was, and you know, the type of person that he was.
Right. So the funeral date has already been set. March 17 is when it's going to happen. But from what you've seen here at the 1 week, just the 1 week celebration of him, what do you think the funeral is going to be like?
Well, we need more security to start off with, because you know, we saw what the footballers went through. They literally needed you know, the policemen to form a guard of honor for them to be able to walk through. Everyone wanted a picture with them. Everyone wanted a shot of them, and so maybe there may need to be better arrangements made for organization. But once the state is involved, I do expect there to be tighter security. But if this is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm sure the funeral itself would be way bigger, and we'll be seeing a lot more bigger personalities there.
Definitely there. That's the Oreku Ampofo joining my colleague here at Media General, joining me. And it's still the 1 week celebration of Christian Atsu. The Adrian Ghana AstroTurf is where it's at. And it's a big celebration, really. There are many people here who are commiserating with the family just to pay their respect as well to the family and make sure that Christian Atsu gets that befitting send-off that he deserves as a footballer who played his heart out for the Black Stars. 65 caps is no mean feat for any footballer, and Christian Atsu did it in many ways. 9 goals as well he scored for the Black Stars. So that's particularly what's happening now here at the Adrian Ghana AstroTurf. It's a 1 week celebration of Christian Atsu's life. As you can see, the high table has the Professional Footballers Association of Ghana who have made their way there. The likes of Stephen Appiah, there's also Sammy Kufuor, there's Richard Kingston, there's Sam Johnson, there's Yao Preko and Yao Champong. Many footballers also here. Asamoah Gyan, Sule Muntari, Kwejo Asamoah, Emmanuel Ajiman-Bedu, as well as Rabiu Mohammed. I'm not sure the last time you saw Rabiu Mohammed, but Rabiu Mohammed is here. And there's also Aminu Dramani as well. So there are many footballers here to pay their respects to the fallen footballer right here at the Adrian Ghana AstroTurf.
That was my colleague Yao Fosu Labi bringing you updates from the Adrian Ghana AstroTurf as Christian Atsu, the final funeral rite of the falling football hero, begins, and it goes on finally on March 17. Now, away from that story, legal practitioner Martin Kpebu is demanding that former President John Dramani Mahama should return the ex gratia he has benefited after he left office. The former president at his campaign launch had promised to scrap ex gratia and also maintain a lean government when elected into office in 2025. But panelists on TV3, Man 3 FM's Key Point agreed the scrapping is necessary.
Mr. Mahama should do introspection and see that, yes, let me return it as a sign of what? This good faith, that yes, once I've returned this money, that's it, I'm committed. And then number 2, the amendments, he should put them in writing. Also, he said they will do far-reaching constitutional amendments, including Article 71. Excellent, we agree, he's done well. But let's put all in writing, signed by him. So a letter addressed to the people of Ghana that these are the constitutional amendments he will be, what do you call it, championing. And signed by him. We don't want it in a party manifesto.
if they are indulging in the corrupt practices and at the same time going away with those huge, ex-gratia, then what's the point? If he says he wants to scrap it, why not? But I'm saying that he's taking advantage of the situation.
For me, what we should be looking at is not just simplistically whether or not you have abolished Article 71 in the Constitution, but whether or not what we end up having is an arrangement where citizens pay less for the running of their country. And so it is not just that promise. It is that promise with the promise to cut down on the size of government, cutting down on the size of, the management in parastatals. So you can cut down the number of ministers, but if you maintain the gluttonous administrative machinery of, let's say, Cocoa Board alone, it will wipe out every effort to reduce the expenditure that the public spends on governance.
Now, the immediate past Chief Justice Sufai Kufu wants government to invest funds earmarked for the Independence Day celebrations on meaningful projects that will benefit Guineans. Sufai Kufu is also chairperson of the University of Ghana Governing Council, made the remarks on the sidelines of a public lecture organized to mark Ghana's 66th Independence Day anniversary.
We should be celebrating our Independence Day, but gathering and marching, that's not much. I think whatever money is going to be spent on this celebration, everybody going to the Volta region. If they had selected, let's say, a deprived district, built a new school there, selected a ramshackle district hospital or health center and upgraded it, and then named it Independence School, Independence Hospital, to be good. And then every year they pick a region, pick a project and do it. I think that will be money better spent, if it is to be spent at all. This would inure to the benefit of the people directly, and it will also last. They're going to talk, march, eat, and come back, and that's all.
Now we know that Ghana's 66th Independence Day celebrations will be happening in the Volta region. You're watching Midday Live on TV3. We're going for a quick break. We're back with more stories. Stay with us.
Everybody knows Acrobato. And if you know Acrobato, it means you know Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful Endpoint one?
Chesena me ankasa me period na say problems wom ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chesena nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kra mienu kofro kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko Endpoint o mama no nura ene ne ho idea watimi asori anante.
That's Endpoint for you.
Ofa Acrobato.
Hello.
Hey, ohwehwe what che.
Okay.
A free bra wo di Endpoint wa dance am me ko ye no me Johnson sema na enkoyie en paso na my emre nyina na magina sebema na me no bifie for de e ho na nyina jaresa.
You heard everything. I have secret. Endpoint is my secret. Endpoint Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
We are on a mission promoting access to quality health and education through the power of our media space. Since 2014, we have made great impact. TV3 mission now drives Ghana's quest to break barriers and provide access to inclusive and quality girls' education, together with women's maternal health services. Our mission to address the needs of the socially excluded has won the admiration of many. Indeed, TV3 Mission gets you the results. Mission is live on TV3 News 360 every Saturday and Sunday. Supported by Star Ghana Foundation, with thanks to Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office.
Commercial sex work is illegal in Ghana, but it persists, and not even its illegality and the dangers of the trade would stop some from daring even more for extra cash. In Sperm Merchants, Stanley Nibleu investigates the dastardly practice of the sale of sperm of unsuspecting clients by commercial sex workers to ritualists. But why do they do what they do?
If somebody bring me Ghana, yes, I should come and use my vagina and pay 50 million. And I pay the money, so I have to leave for my own.
Condom, there no hotels, cleaners, no. No, me if I never catch on some paint, so me a Juma no more to me. Into committing back on Jana one man tip kakra.
And what is the position of the law on such matters?
There is a fundamental principle in law that the Romans call it ex topi causa non orito axio.
Watch Sperm Merchants on The Assignment on Wednesday, March 8, 2023 at 9 p.m. only on TV3 and across all social media platforms at TV3 Ghana.
Welcome to Ghana Month.
Hi, lovely Ghanaians. Inapa your beautiful Queen Teya Umbongo.
Remix! The name is derived from the Ewe word afajeto, which means war with the bush.
One day, I went to the market and this lady was crying. And I saw what she carried, heavy load. And the woman who actually made her carry that load gave her 2 cedis. I was going to shop for the house. I gave her everything that I had.
That is Buzia, that is if I'm not wrong.
Yes, that's my grandfather. Edward Akufo-Addo.
Grandpa, I'm sorry. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. It's in the heart of Accra.
You miss MK. You miss MK.
The Ladies Circle shows this Saturday at 6 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Yaz Sanitary Pad.
Onga.
Welcome back to Midday Live. Sports News is up next. Aniela Alote has joined me. Aniela, sad day in the football fraternity in Ghana. Christian Atsu is beginning his journey.
Very, very much so, Crosby. And as we know, the final funeral rites, it has been announced that it's set to take place at the State House on the 17th of March, 2023. So that is when we can be expected to lay Christian Atsu to rest. But we'll head over now back to East Legon. The Adrien Gano AstroTurf and my colleague Yao Ofusulabi has been stationed at the one-week celebration of Christian Atsu. He has been speaking to former teammates of Christian Atsu, Ajiman Bedu, Jerry Akaminko, and Rabiu Mohammed.
So here at the Adrien Gano AstroTurf, it's a one-week celebration of Christian Atsu's life, and many of his playing colleagues are here at the AstroTurf as well. And one of them joining me is Emmanuel Ajimabedu. Emmanuel was a man who played with Christian Atsu for a really long time in the Black Stars. Emmanuel, welcome to Warm Up Plus on TV3.
Thank you very much.
Now, I mean, you were Christian's friend. Just paint a picture of what kind of person he was for us, for the many people who may not know.
Well, first, I need to say he was a blessing for the country. As the work he was doing on the field, everybody has seen it, and his philanthropic work as well. It's just unfortunate that we have lost a great friend, a very calm guy, a very jovial guy. It's just unfortunate, but what can we do? We are just here to celebrate him and to make sure that everything goes on. Wherever he's going, he should rest in perfect peace.
Right, now, I mean, when you look at the number of people here who are here to just pay respect to Christian Atsu, it should tell you what kind of person he was, really.
Exactly. He's a kind of person who is very jovial. He helps a lot. He did his best for the nation, and like how you said, the kind of people here, if you see them, you can see like he was a good person for the country, and it was a blessing for the country as well. We have lost a great hero. We have lost a great hero. It's just unfortunate.
Most definitely, Ima. Thank you so much for joining us on Warm Up Plus. This is still Warm Up Plus coming to you live from the Adrian Ghana AstroTurf. It's a celebration of life for Christian Atsu, and the man who helped many people. He played 65 times for the Black Stars, scored 9 goals, some memorable goals really. Won a goal of the tournament at the 2015 AFCON, was player of the tournament as well at the 2015 AFCON, and very huge figure in Ghana football that has fallen. And just to remind you as well, the funeral date has been set for March the 17th, 2023 at the forecourt of the State House. The sports minister has been here, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf. Also, the former trade minister, Honorable Alan Tremantin, has been here. Honorable Yababia Sama has been here as well. Former president of the Ghana Football Association, Kwesi Nyantechi Keto Kreku, has also been here, who's president of the GFA, as well with his entourage as well, and many others as well. Rabiu has also joined me right here on Warm Up Plus. Rabiu, you played with Christian also for a really long time in the Black Stars. What kind of person was Atsu?
Yeah, Atsu, very good guy. Like, he doesn't speak much, or he doesn't talk much, and like always you see him always smiling. Like if maybe we are teasing or somebody, and you see that time you see Atsu was there, and like it's not easy. Like, he's a very good guy.
Rabiu, thank you so much for joining us. And that was Rabiu Mohammed as well, who also played with Christian Atsu in the Black Star setup. My very good friend Jerry Akamenko has also joined us. Jerry, I mean, you're also here to pay your last respects to Christian Atsu. What kind of person was Atsu?
What kind of what? Say again.
What kind of person was Christian Atsu? What kind of a person and a player was Christian Atsu?
Yeah, he had a great sense of humor. He was a good person on and off the pitch. He had a good character. He was easy to be around with, And then, I would say he was a great person. Like, it just sudden.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is Warm Up Plus right here on TV3, and you heard the cheers and the shouts from many of the fans who are here. It's just because Asamoah Gyan has walked in, and so he has also made his way in, as well as Sule Muntari and his brother as well. They have also made their way into the premises right here. That's the Adrian Ghana AstroTurf. You can also see in your shot there former General Secretary of the Confederation of African Football, Anthony Bafo as well, who is also in a conversation with Asamoah Gyan. So there are many of Christian Atsu's colleagues who are here just to commiserate with him and also say so much and pay respects to the family. Bafo Gyan is also in there. Former captain of the Black Stars, Stephen Appiah, is also in there as well. Many of Christian Atsu's playmates are here just to pay.
That will be all for sports this afternoon. I am Aniela Alute. Noble Crosby Annan brings us some more stories.
Good to have you, Aniela. Let's do some more stories where the teacher unions in education have suspended the payment of over 200 million cedis as subscription to the National Pension Regulatory Authority. The unions took their decision after accusing the NPRA of failing to compel government to pay their over 400 million cedis arrears of their second-tier pension scheme.
This year, the teacher unions were upset that government was owing 8 months arrears of their second-tier pension scheme. The unions, Ghana National Association of Teachers (NAT), National Association of Graduate Teachers (NAGRAT), and the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, accused the National Pensions Regulatory Authority (NPRA) of failing to compel government to pay the arrears. Leadership of the unions threatened to stop the payment of subscription to the NPRA by the end of February for its silence on the pension arrears. However, the NPRA has failed to act, which has compelled the unions to stop the payment of over 200 million cedis charges to the NPRA with immediate effect.
The teachers, out of frustrations and out of their difficulties and the fear of what will happen to them, they write to the board. That board, please, go. We have earlier on told the NPRA that if by February they don't ensure that the monies are paid, actions will be taken. Right. And the people are saying that we should indicate to the board. We have done that. We are to communicate. We have not taken the decision. No. It is the prerogative of the board to do those things under the law. And so we have given it to the board. So it is for the board to take those decisions.
Since they are not ready to ensure that government does the right thing by paying the 5% contribution of the 18.5% pension deductions that have been made to GISOP, our tier 2, to invest it so that interest can be accrued, so that if we go on pension, we'll get something that we'll be happy about. We have also decided not to pay their charges again.
The leadership of the unions have argued that they have not flouted the Pensions Act 766 to stop the payment of the subscription to the NPRA.
Somebody should retire in the month of March and you pay him his benefits. You can only pay him up to May last year. Then you tell him that we want to do Sankofa. When we were children, when we are playing cards, they say Ayanaba Sakune. So when the person comes for them, and then you tell the person that, look, I want to do IOU. I am owing you from June up to January. So when every month, when I have the money, I'll come in. So when May comes, we give you the 100. July comes, what about the 3% on it?
NPRA is there dragging private institutions to court because they've not paid their employees SNIT contributions and tier 2 contributions. But when it comes to government, a government agency like Ghana Education Service and the likes, NPRA seems to be quiet. If they have the moral wherewithal to look at the issue and say that they are taking us to court, they should do it.
Let's now take you to the Western region, where residents of two communities, Jura Sikani-Asem in the Western region, are living in fear following attacks on their farmlands by alleged gun-wielding men or macho men. The residents have therefore requested the assistance of the National Security Minister and the Inspector General of Police to flush them out. Residents are predominantly farmers and small-scale miners, some of whom have signed on to the government Planting for Food and Jobs program. According to the residents, gun-wielding men from Jura Banso in the Evalua Jomoro Jura municipality constantly harass them on their own lands, forcing some residents to flee the town. The unprovoked attacks resulted in clashes between the youth of the town and the alleged macho men who demanded money from the farmers before they can have access to their farms. Some residents spoke to TV3.
And 3 days, your Honoman Galamsey, Nkolano, say, 1 year, Galamsey, 4 or 5 years. Into some for some on Kolani shoot. And you know what J pumping machine out as no to come.
About a week ago, they came here to attack us, and then yesterday too, they came here. The men took away the pumping machine and champagne. We have informed the commander about the situation.
Into CCI no Casa cry, the case now, my commander will be still. Next out by you, or buy an uncle for the brain. I see, Obeka say, and Yanamaka, Obeka by me and your man.
When they came, they met my absence, so they left a note that I should stop doing work on the land. We had nursed our cocoa seedlings, but they destroyed everything.
Meanwhile, the Tufuhene of Jura, Sikani-Asem Nanatapoli, says the IGP must intervene.
The Banso chief brought the men in. He seized everyone from working on this land. He allowed his men to go and work on the Galamsey site. Not even a penny was given to us for community development. I think he's abusing our right as indigents.
When contacted, the Jura Banso chief, Nana Etiakrade II, admitted to sending men to the farms, but it was in a bid to stop the youth from engaging in illegal mining activities. Now, the chiefs and people of the Akpafu, Santroko, Filolobi and Boli have kicked against moves by government to mine iron ore in the area. They argue that the project would not engender the desired benefit, but only lead to the destruction of the environment, just as is the case in other mining communities in the country.
Reserves are cleared, there will be lack of oxygen for survival. Source of water for humans and livestock. There will be environmental pollution, as there will be noise, dust, and infectious gases. The ramifications of mining iron ore in this area connected to a wide range of undesirable environmental and social impacts with negative repercussions on people's livelihood are among the reasons why the people of Sandro Kofi, Akpafu, and Boli are protesting. The people are against any attempt to prospect and mine iron ore on their land and will collectively use any means available to protest against it.
In fact, we are not happy at all. Why we are not happy is that our water resources are all from the mountains that they want to come and mine. If they do that, the explosion will cause our water sources to be disturbed. Number two, the air that will be produced will have a serious effect on the people of Sandrouf and Akpafu people, and then Hokwe municipality and Jessica municipalities and the whole nation at large.
To some news in politics, and it appears the governing New Patriotic Party would have it tough with plans to make inroads into the Volta region despite securing the Hohoi seat in 2020. Concerns have been raised about voter apathy within the base of the opposition, the National Democratic Congress stronghold. Eric Mawene-Agbata has been assessing the popularity of the NDC in the Volta region.
Known as the World Bank of the NDC, the Volta region continues to be a strong base for the largest opposition party in the country. In more recent times, however, questions over the loyalty of the region to the NDC has come up, a concern culminating to the losing of the Hokwe seat to the New Patriotic Party in the 2020 general elections. But chairman of the party in the region, Mauto Agbavito, argues Volta region still remains loyal to the NDC.
Volta remains the lifeblood of the NDC. The spirit of the party is here. The founder of the party comes from this region.
But is that a statement reflective of the views of the people?
Looking at the crisis in the country, the way people are suffering, you know, even some of the MPP supporters are even disappointed that they want to even vote for NDC this time around. So I think this time the NDC is going to carry everything.
NDC nyota mi ga jiba NDC na ga gbogbo for back na mi ro kola le kana gbon la na gbo na yita pada manyu na ga gbogbo agbo na na makwe.
The people of the Volta region they believe that NDC is their savior. That is what they believe in.
Yeah, lonloya myo modo myo nya pakpa jara lonloya ga listen NDC. Ala bele ke fi mi ba le ngo pon la le ke ngo le gomo jeja ngo le gban la fi fi ke asito troba vala mi ga vale nana ke mesemu.
Despite these sentiments, Secretary of the party in the region, James Gunu, believes more needs to be done, particularly a recapture of the Hokwe seat.
We have an antidote to this skirt and blouse thing, and we hope that 2024 there wouldn't be any skirt and blouse, because we could have won the Hokwe seat easily without even the SAR. And now that SAR is not part of Hokwe, we are very confident that we're going to win the Hokwe seat back.
The governing New Patriotic Party continues in making inroads into the stronghold of its opponent, but current prevailing economic conditions make that an extreme difficulty. Eric Mawene-Agbata, TV3 News, Ho, Volta region.
Now, the National Administrator of the Premix Field Secretariat, Nana Abrakwasare, is set to contest the NPP parliamentary primaries for the Esujaman constituency. Nana Abrakwasare is one of several young people who have declared their intentions to becoming members of the 9th Parliament. He tells Aisha Yakubu Khalid he has all it takes to win the seat.
Seats of the NDC in the Eastern region, the NPP has won it only twice in the last 8 elections. But 33-year-old native of Enumboso, Nana Abrakwasare, is hoping the wheels will turn to his favor to make it 3 out of 9 for the NPP. First, he must win the NPP ticket in the constituency. Nana Broko Asare is a Bachelor of Science degree in Geomantics Engineering graduate from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He says his desire to impact and provide relief to others is what struck his interest in politics.
I've always found myself leading people and bringing relief to people. I've demonstrated that wherever I find myself. And especially bringing a soldier man into focus. I've been around the constituency, bringing relief to lots and lots of people. It is on the backdrop of that I've offered myself to serve my people on a bigger platform. That is why I've decided to contest for the upcoming primaries, so that I can bring much more relief to my people and serve them on a bigger scale.
Nana Broko also holds a master's degree in petroleum geoscience from the University of Ghana and has served as the administrator of the National Premix Fuel Secretariat for the past 7 years.
The role that I play has shaped my leadership skill. Working with fishermen across the length and breadth of the country has given me the needed exposure and given me the requisite skill to be able to lead.
In the 2020 elections, current MP of the constituency, the NDC's Thomas Ampemnyako, beat Paul Asare Ansah of the NPP by a little over 1,000 votes to win the seat. Nana Broko Asare sees that gap as a glimmer of hope to overturn the tide in favor of the NPP come 2024.
I believe the current MP has done his best, but it still leaves more to be desired. I believe there's still a lot more to be done. The constituency has a lot of potential that is left untapped. And I believe it's time we get a leader who will be able to synergize all of this potential and unlock it to the benefit of the general populace.
A lot of concerns have been raised about the number of young people entering parliament and whether it is good or bad for the country's democracy. Deputy Speaker of Parliament Joseph Osei-Wusu is of the view if care is not taken with the influx of young people in Parliament, the House might be turned into a boxing ring. Nana Broko disagrees with his assertion. He says giving young people a chance will rather put experienced MPs on their toes.
The attrition rate in Parliament has to do more with the performance of our MPs. People are holding our MPs responsible, which is good. You know, it tells you that when you go to Parliament and you don't represent your people to the best of your ability or to their satisfaction, it means that you're not going to survive the next Parliament.
Nana Broko Asare is committed to leading grassroots job creation for the youth in Esuojaman through entrepreneurship and agribusiness.
My mission revolves around the need to harness party resources to promote growth and ultimately clinch power from the NDC in the Esuojaman constituency. My vision shall be on the broad basis of economic diversification through enterprise development, job creation, youth development, food security through agricultural revolution.
With the number of young people making clear the intention to run for members of parliament and the number of concerns about whether or not it is good for the country's democracy, one thing is clear. It is going to be some interesting days ahead. Aisha Yakubu Khalid, TV3 News.
To some other stories, details of Ghana's debt exchange program is expected to be laid before Parliament in the next few days after the Speaker admitted a private member motion filed by the minority. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to furnish Parliament with details of the ongoing debt restructuring protocol. The motion was moved by the minority leader, Keselato Forsing, Minority Chief Whip Kwame Agboja governs, Boko Central MP Mahama Yariga, Bolgatanga Central MP Isaac Adongo, and MP for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamepo. Now, government is currently in talks with its external creditors for a possible debt restructuring, if successfully completing its domestic debt exchange program. It is, however, unclear exactly when the minister will be demanded to appear before the House. Well, this is the latest development concerning the domestic debt exchange program. Let's pick the views of Professor John Gachi, who is the Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School on that. Prof, thank you for joining us on Midday Live. There are concerns that this move may further delay the process of securing the IMF board approval. Do you agree with those?
I didn't get a question, please.
So, Prof, what I'm asking is the latest development as the Speaker has admitted a private member's motion on the debt exchange program that requires the Finance Minister to come to Parliament to brief the House, that concerns that this move may further delay the process of securing the deal. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think there are two schools of thought. Some people believe that originally Parliament gave the approval to Finance Minister to procure those debts. So whatever the minister does with the debt in terms of the debt restructuring should not come to Parliament. And some people also are of the view that the debt exchange program is a new debt arrangement with the debt holders. So it must come to Parliament for parliamentary approval. And also, Parliament ought to understand the details to be able to provide guidance. So that is why this exercise is going on. But for me, it is not at variance with the requirement of our prudent financial management rules. And I believe when this is done, it makes the situation clearer. And then the depth of the problem will now be explained to the public for them to appreciate. Some aspects of the agreement which were not clear, especially the bringing in of Ghana amalgamated, all those things will come forth and clarification will be provided, or Parliament may take decision to stop some of these entities from participating in the debt exchange arrangement.
Right, Prof. So the Chinese delegation was also in Accra over the week and met government officials. Do you foresee China agreeing to some form of debt restructuring for Ghana in this deal that we're looking for?
Your line is not clear.
So, Prof, what I'm asking is, we know that Chinese officials, they were in the country in the past days to meet with government officials. And what do you foresee? Do you foresee China agreeing to some form of, debt restructuring for Ghana as the country seeks the IMF board approval?
Well, China is not predictable in this matter, given what is happening to Sri Lanka and what is happening to other countries who have not been able to pay their debt, and China has to seize, or some facility has to be handed over to China. And again, some of the things of interest to China are become activated in the country. For example, the country has shown that it has gold that they can exchange for oil. So if it is in position to do that, it's an incentive to China for some of the gold to be used to pay for the debt. So as to whether China will agree, it is not certain, and relying on China may delay the process as I see it.
So, in effect, Ghana should not be overly optimistic, if you like.
Well, I don't know why we should be optimistic with China especially, and even with the external debt situation, because the German ambassador has clearly indicated that he cannot go around begging China and other creditors to support Ghana if Ghana does not respond in a manner that shows that Ghana is in financial distress. To him, Ghana has not shown that it is in financial distress. It doesn't cut down expenditure enough, so that is not incentive enough to go begging on behalf of Ghana. And the same thing China may be seeing. And any agreement to debt exchange program will mean that China will benefit even more than suspending the debt or making any agreement with Ghana regarding the debt exchange, China will always look at its interest, and that interest will be more beneficial to them than to us. So that is what will be happening.
Prof, pleasure talking to you. Professor John Gachi is the Dean of the University of Cape Coast Business School, speaking with us there. We're watching Midday Live. We're back with more stories after the break. Don't go away.
There's a big old family dance. This week on Big Old Family Dance is freestyle. Yeah.
All my ladies. All my ladies.
It's eviction time. Our selected competing families do their own thing. They choose their own dance moves, they choose their own themes, and they come on and wow us. You don't want to miss this. Only on TV3 at 8 p.m. sharpest. We're right here. All right, my name is Crystal Kwame. I am your MC. Come on, catch you. Look out.
Big Old Family Dance shows Saturdays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Big Old Drinks.
I'm seated in the confession seat, and he's ready. He says,
I didn't call to tell him I was coming. This muscular guy was humping his wife.
Even as friends, we can have bro codes, but this one is your blood.
The moment they get married, make a conscious effort to draw that line.
Position the woman was given is an enjoyable one.
Why is she sleeping with another man on her matrimonial bed?
Either you're a beginner or you're a pro.
You shouldn't treat every lady as a cheater.
Oti Obia Sema Ayasusuka. Miss Nancy Confessions on TV3.
Confessions now shows on Saturdays at 9:30 p.m. on TV3.
Welcome to the pre-Independence Day edition of the show.
I'm in love. I love you, King. I'm in. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay.
He's mine. I'm taking him home today.
That's right.
I am a thief and I'm here to steal your heart.
Sir, competition is tight.
Yes.
You know I'm a presenter and always we need a designer.
That's right.
And he can't go and design for upcoming. Where incomings are they?
Date Rush shows every Sunday at 8 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it. Date Rush is sponsored by
Rush Energy Drink,
Airtel Tigo, Sense Body Spray,
Duffy's Health and Beauty, Pepsodent Herbal,
Geisha,
Obuasi Bitters,
Remy Spices, Give Us Herbal Mixture,
Carnival Strawberry, Forever Clear, Acne Control Range and Multi-Fruit Set.
General Assassini, Miade Nidba Lolola. God bless our homeland, Ghana.
I eat Ghanaian, I drink Ghanaian, I sleep Ghana way. So I'm a typical Ghanaian. I'm proud of it.
This week on Talented Kids, we celebrate Ghana's independence by taking a tour of Ghana and its beauty.
It was just a beautiful performance to watch.
How well do you know Ghana? Our contestants take us to the 4 cardinal points of the country, showcasing our motherland. Vote for your favorite by dialing *713*13# or download the TB3 Reality app to vote for them. Talented Kids, free to play.
Freedom.
Talented Kids shows on TV3 every Sunday at 4 p.m.
Powered by Indomie. Sponsored by Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Cowbell, Heaven Black Mosquito Coil and Insecticide Spray, and Napa Mackerel, Kiki Juice Drink, Flora Tissues, Top Choco, Coco Plus.
It's now time for entertainment news, and as you know, the biggest festival in the country today is happening at the Accra Mall. It is the 3FM Gobe Festival. Let's now take you there for some sights and sounds.
So if you don't know about it, let me tell you, it's all about the 3FM Gobe Festival. Now, if you make your way to the Accra Mall, beautiful setup, beautiful people, nice environment. We are settling in for the Gobe Fest. Hundreds of Gobe lovers have made their way this morning here at the Accra Mall for the 3FM Gobe Festival. Well, let's just get talking to some people and find out how they want their Gobe served, what is happening at their stands, how is sales going, and what the day is looking like for today. So let's get walking.
Premier Gobe University.
I see.
It's called Gobe Degree.
Gobe Degree?
Gobe Degree, yes. Nice. So we actually train all the Gobe vendors in Ghana. We've been around since 1960. Wow. Oh, yes.
I see. But what makes your Gobe so different from the other Gobe joints that we have here today?
Well, it's the ingredients. I mean, the ingredients we use are beans, the sauce, all the way from the Volta region, our Zomi. Yeah, the bice in it. All the way from the Volta region where Gobe actually originated from. Yes, so today we are here enrolling more students to our university.
I see.
Absolutely.
Nice. But how has the day been like for you so far?
Oh yes, it's been awesome actually. People are coming, yeah, we're having fun. We're seeing some of the students that we train around, so it's good to mingle with all the customers, all the Gobe lovers. Yes, so it's a very, kudos to TV3 and 3FM for putting this together. Yes.
So far so good. It's really nice. It's really nice. All right, but what do you make of promoting our local cuisines like this?
I think it's high time you start doing that because our local foods really need to be promoted very well.
All right, thank you so much. This my man here is doing what the boys love most, a mixture of Gobe. How do you call this mixture?
This is Gobelogy.
Gobelogy?
Yes, this is Gobe Degree.
So you are studying?
Yes, I'm studying Gobe here. Very, very good.
I see. From the Gobe Fest here at the Accra Mall. Well, it's a beautiful place. If you haven't made your way, just come over, come and meet new people, beautiful friends all together. But let's talk to Madam Lois. She will properly give us a picture of how the place is looking like.
So as you can see around, you can hear the music. People are really having fun. I mean, unexpectedly. We were hoping people will have fun, and they're really having fun, and we are happy about that. So right now, Kwampa is giving us some palm wine music, and people are enjoying it. It means we are truly Ghanaian.
Well, so if you're a lover of the gari and the beans and the plantain, the right plantain, please make your way to the Accra Mall for the Gobe Festival, or the Yaka Gari and Gabins lovers. Make your way there. Let's now bring you the latest on the foreign front. Russian and Ukrainian forces are fighting in the streets of Bakhmut, but Russia does not control the eastern city. Its deputy mayor has said. Now, Mashenko told reporters the remaining 4,000 civilians are living in shelters without access to gas, electricity or water. Mashenko said not a single building had remained untouched and that the city is almost destroyed. Well, that's our package this afternoon. My name is Noble Crosby Annan, and we came to you from our News Hub studios here at Adisawe Kanda in Accra. There's more news on our website, 3news.com. Do well to log on. On behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for watching the program. And I remind you again, if you're a lover of Gobe, find your way to the Accra Mall for the 3FM Gobe Festival. We'll be there. Good afternoon. Bye-bye.
This program is rated U. It contains no scene, action or dialogue that could be construed as disturbing, harmful or offensive. It is suitable for all ages.